join me in a car, because that's what YouTubers apparently do. It's been quite a while since I've spoken to camera, so this is a bit weird for me. So yes, I've been absent. Many things have happened. It's been quite chaotic, not going to lie. We have... Well, tell you what, I should tell you all the chaotic stuff at the end of the video, because you might not be interested in all that. You're more interested in what's coming, because there are things coming, and my Volvo can't get up this hill. Come on, Vera. Come on, Vera. Come on. Yes. 40. So yes, there are many things happening, because things are sorted out now, mainly. So in a second we're going to switch to me a couple of weeks. I can't get up the hill again. I will quickly tell you about this car, which will be coming in a future video. This is my 1998 Volvo V40, which I've had on and off for about 10 years next year. It's been brilliant. Obviously I'll give you the full details in that video when I make it, but I bought it in 2013 for £200. It'd been sat for 2 years, and I chucked some fuel in it, some wiper blades on, and drove it to the MOT. It's just had an engine rebuild because it got run out of oil. Not by me. Sorry, Sam. It was kind of you. But it's fine. So yes, no, we've got a black 99 turbo, which needs major work. That's for a customer. Obviously we've got the red 5-door, which I haven't really touched since the last video, apart from I put a wing on it. All Saab. And a few other bits. I've also accumulated some cars and got rid of some cars, so that's nice. So no, I'll stop blabbering now and I'll hand you over to me from a couple of weeks ago. See you in a minute. Now, forgive me, I have not spoken to camera for a long time, or people actually, so it's probably about the same thing. So this is the next project. This is actually paid work, which is nice, and it's a Saab, so it's like all the dreams have come true together. And this is probably its best angle. So it's a 2-door turbo. There is history to it, which I shall probably add on later because I've forgotten it all right now. This is less good angle because it's arrived from Suffolk on a trailer in December, so that is all salt, quite happily fizzing away on the front. So yeah, on the outside it looks good, and on the inside it also looks pretty good. No tears in the seats, and I can confirm the heated seats do work, or heated seat. I don't know if the passenger... I don't think a passenger one has it in this. No, I think it's GLE only. Oh, I can't remember. But yes, headlining needs doing. But obviously, the biggest problem... Oh God, the door doesn't shut. That's not the biggest problem. It's our friend, the yellow chalk. I can't remember how to use this camera actually. But yes, so we've got issues like that and that. Thankfully, we do have a pair of wings, which the owner supplied. And yeah, that is actually a seat, you can see it in there. Shock mount isn't. Obviously this would be much better on a ramp, but right now I don't have one, which, yeah, it's part of that story. Yeah, there isn't actually any metal there. I sort of forget how bad this is. I'd say the most obvious bit... Yeah, that is quite the hole, and that is the fuel tank mount, or one of them there, which isn't mounting. Thankfully we do have, again, a scrapper which the owner has, which we're going to cut the boot floor up, because that one's actually fine. But the usual place they go is on this side, that little dip, and it's brown, but it's not horrendous. It'll probably come into some sort of hole, but it's actually there. But no, that's quite surprising. Oh yeah, that is, you can see quite a lot of seat there. Down an arrow. Yes, that is another shock mount, that isn't. Sills, I think. Is there issues with the sills? There are issues, but they're not chalked yet. Oh, it is quite bad, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to find issues with spot welded seams blowing out. And this side isn't too bad. Well, it's bad, but it's not as bad. Yeah, that's whole. And again, does ideally need a wing, which thankfully we have. And all the parts are off the car at the moment. They are present. Oh, the bonnet's shut. I'm really not prepared. There we go. Now we behold the magnificence of the B20. I hope I got that right. But yeah, the engine runs really sweet, which I will show you either in this video or another video. I mean, I'm doing a whole YouTube series on this car, so you're going to hear it at some point. You're going to be seeing a lot more of it. So like my red one, I'm going to take you through it and just do it bit by bit on camera. That's the plan anyway. Hopefully that'll come true. But unfortunately, I think this is sort of why I haven't been filming much, because I've been wanting to get on with my own projects, and having the camera there almost takes an extra day to get things done. But then I haven't uploaded a video for over a year, so it's best to get back onto it. But I really appreciate people watching them. Oh god, she's dirty. Yes, right, we should go and look at my other projects. And guess what they are, subs. And now welcome to my shithole of a workshop. There it is, very sad, not being worked on. If I'm honest, I don't really know what to do with it. Well, obviously apart from finish it. I mean, I'm fully capable of finishing it. In fact, the worst of it's done. It's just, I have so much to do, and it's taking up space, but who else is going to do it? And I do sort of still love it. But no, I'm at a bit of a lull at the moment to know what to do with it and sort of things. Also, here are some other Saabs. Just trod on the heater. So this is a Saab 90. This is mine. It's currently got no clutch in it because it wasn't. Oh, the plan wasn't for it to come in here to have a clutch, but the plan was it just came in here overnight, and then I went to move it the next day, and the slave cylinder burst. So the clutch is out. Fitted a new spigot bearing, which wasn't too bad to do because the old one is. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, that's not nice. So to do that, I just unbolted the flywheel, took it out, put it in the press, and press a new one in. It could do with a new rear main seal. I'm going to regret not doing that, but I don't have time to wait for the parts to arrive, and I need this space for paid work. So, while I've been waiting for the clutch to arrive, I've been welding. Oh god, I just kicked it. So, this was all pretty smelly, but now it's done. I should probably put some light on it for you because it's dark. I won't talk for too long because I can't stand myself talking too long. I did the boot floor today, that needs grinding down because that had a big hole in it. That one needs grinding down. Just about to start this bit, which is much more rotten than I thought. I thought it was just going to be a little localised repair up there, but then this is all filler. And then a little bit on the drive shaft tunnel. Then we need to do brake lines and tyres. And then it's ready for MOT. The interior was shot, but I have rebuilt the driver's seat. I put the whole seat cover in the wash and it came up really well, but it was just burnt out. It wasn't on fire, it was just, it'd been smoked into death. The headlining collapse, I've done the headlining, so that's looking nice. Probably doesn't look so nice on camera because the biscuit is bumpy, but we're fine. And this is my Saab 900 SE Auto. It's actually been up the hill at Prescott Hill, which I will cut to now. And yeah, that was its last year. No, I used it right up until March of this year, until the MOT ran out, and the MOT's actual words, I won't tell you the other thing he said, were, "You owe me a pen," which is never a good thing. Say it is rotten out. So, already done this arch, done the rear passenger's arch, drive shaft tunnel on this side that are gone. So now I see to paint this wing, that was £460 just for a new wing, but hey, it saves it. Who else is going to save a 5-door naturally aspirated auto Saab? And yeah, but it has got 199,000 miles on it, which is quite an achievement, and it's got immaculate full leather trim. Oh god, it smells so nice. It smells like a dentist. I'm going to sit in it again because it's just really comfy and nice. Oh, 198,000 miles. Electric sunroof, wood trim. It's actually a little bit on the SE. It was the original SE that came out in 1990. Obviously they made an SE a couple of years later and they made loads of them until the 900s ended. I think it was just a trim line, but this was actual limited edition, only in the UK I think. And they were all iridium blue with a blue pinstripe. I mean, yes, some will argue there was one or two not in iridium blue, but it's Saab, you could order whatever you wanted. They're just happy you were buying a car. Came with the full electrics pack, which is electric windows all round, which is unusual for a car of the time, I guess. Came with electric sunroof, both front seats heated, which I don't know if it will stand on a 900, that bit at the time. But yeah, you got headlight levelling control, rear wash wipe, yeah, and full leather. And you had the choice of manual or auto. This, a lot would say unfortunately an auto, but I actually really like the auto. It's only got 3 speeds, but it is just delightfully relaxing and cruisy and nice. And really can't wait to get this back on the road again. I also need a pair of headlights because they failed on the reflectors gone and they didn't create a beam. So yes. And then these other 2 Saabs, they belong to a friend of mine. That is a 900 CD, so that's the long wheelbase 900, turbocharged automatic, 1983 I think. We don't know, we haven't made a decision on what to do with that yet, because basically everything from the A-pillar backwards is fine, but forwards it's pretty bad. And I'm not going to get underneath and show you now. I might be able to see my phone. But the rot on the front is so bad the engine has collapsed. So it should be more of a uppy angle. But yeah, you can already see some haulage. And yeah, the first sign will go, yeah, that is the chassis leg down there, which should be attached, well, to all that, and it isn't. That is low, yeah, that bit down there is lower, and it should be up. Yeah, basically the way the engine's, it's knackered. The engine is resting on the member. But back, it's absolutely lovely. It's got a nice interior. Well, I say nice, it's got a Saab interior. It still smells quite petrol-y, so it's got a sort of purpley carpets and nondescript coloured seats. And the legroom is just out of this world. Yeah, this would be a really nice car on the road. Sort of hoping we can do it, actually. Oh, yeah, a load more rust fell off. But the boot floor is fine, which is unusual. As I said, all this is fine. Well, I say it's fine from the A-pillar back. This is gone. They have annoyed sorting, and because of that, the pass shaft's collapsed. And yeah, that's another black turbo, which is another thing we're trying to work out what to do with, which isn't actually too bad condition-wise compared to RBH, the first one. No, that's a... Needs to decide what's happening there, but should be good. But yeah, that's a 90. Oh, you might not know what a 90 is. A 90 is basically... So, actually it's really good because someone's painted it really badly on the back. So, the bright red part is a Saab 99. The dark red part is a Saab 900. So Saab, to create a cheap model in the mid-80s, they literally took the back end of 900 and welded it to the front end of a 99, and for some reason that was their cheap model. So I suppose you had 900 rear boot space and 99 simplicity on the front, but though the 99 was actually more complex to build. I know it wasn't very popular. I think it was only available in Europe, so our American friends never got them. Some would say that's lucky, but I say shame, because I really liked it. Because they all came with one engine option, which was, it was an H series, but single carb, 100 horsepower, manual. And yeah, it's a really intriguing little thing. I can't wait to get it on the road. And it's mad because this is supposed to be their base model, but of course you still get typical Saab, a driver's heated seat, and headlight wash wipe, rev counter. Although actually I think the rev counter you only got with the 5-speed, which is what this is. But it's a comfy old bus. But yeah, that's our project. So this thing. Welding and seats. I don't know if this video is going to cut to me doing something else now, or it's ending. If it's ending, then... So that was that then. So yeah, there are good things coming up, and I am going to get my arse in gear and do it. And I'll tell you what happened since the last video. So the last video was, I think it was the white 99 turbo getting started up. And yeah, I made that and literally edited it and uploaded it there and then. Since then, I went on holiday shortly after that for about a week, and then I employed someone because, I don't know whether you know, but I run my own business, which is classic car restoration. And yeah, it's going really well. So I took someone on, really positive things happening, and I had plenty of work booked in, which was lovely. And then it just fell in a heap. I had quite a big argument with the guy I employed. I still don't, to this day, don't know whose fault it was, but he had a bit of a falling out, and it was a bit hard because it was a friend. And the hardest thing is I had to let him go. But which is never good. And unfortunately, we haven't really spoken since. But friends come and go. And I was sort of thinking about knocking the business on the head at that point. And that sort of was one of the nails in the coffin. But I did carry on for a bit. But then, I think it was about March, April time, I got a letter from the council saying I now have to pay business rates because I've got the main unit, which you've seen me starting the white Saab in, and I had a storage unit which was used for the parts of storing cars. You know, I don't know if you know, when you restore a car, there are a lot of things which have to be stored. You know, you strip a car down, and it's like you've got another car and a half worth of space of bits, because they're not sort of bolted to the car anymore. So I had to have a storage unit to keep all that in for the projects. Obviously, some of the projects are mine, and that was a unit which I was told would be below a certain rateable value, because in the UK you have to pay business. If you're a small business and you have one unit, you don't have to pay business rates. You get something called small business rate relief. And if you then get a second unit, unless the rateable value of that unit, I won't explain what rateable value is below 2,900, then you then have to pay business rates on both your first unit and the second unit combined, which would never work. But then I was told in good faith that, I mean, it's the first time this unit had been rented out for years, which I used the second storage unit. But I was told in good faith that it'd be below 2,900. And then the letter came through saying it was actually $4,500 business rate, rateable value. So I then had to start paying business rates, which was eventually going to work out about £500 a month, in addition to the £705 a month rent on the main unit, £350 a month rent on the storage unit, insurance, electricity, light, heat, and it's basically going to cost me about £2,000 a month to keep the doors open. And ever since I started the business, I think the best I've done is make a few £100 in a month, which isn't great, but the whole idea was to expand. And it could have worked, but at that point, what with the employee thing not working out, the projects building up, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I just had a complete meltdown and decided to shut. Which was a really good decision, it turned out, mainly because I did have a plan afterwards. I'd spoken to a mate who also runs a classic car business, and he was happy to take me on employed. So I thought, brilliant, I'll keep the little unit for my own projects and a bit of car storage, then I get the business rate relief on that, so no business rates anymore. Don't need massive insurance, and I'd be employed by someone else, tickety-boo, working on Astons. Yeah. So I had so much. I think the final day in Unit 4, my main unit, was end of August, so I needed a full month to clear everything out. So I managed to get all the projects finished for customers, so no one was left in the middle of anything. And that month was so stressful. I mean, it's ridiculous. I had to take the whole of September off because I just burnt myself out. Went and saw a friend in Scotland, and that's when I did a car swap over. That's when I actually swapped, because I realised that white Saab 99 Turbo, I would never get that fully sorted. And Ian in Scotland, bless him, he really wanted that from day one. So we basically did a swap for that and a 900, So I had his 900 5-door and he had the white 99, and I got a bit of money out of it, which is really nice, and he got the car of his dreams. So yeah, bubbling on. So yeah, so towards the end of September started my new job properly, on a self-employed basis initially, because I was still going to do a bit of freelance work in my storage unit for people, and it was going really, really well. And then 2 months later, he announced he's shutting the business as well, mainly because of the same reasons as me, which was like a massive kick in the face. But I can see why he did it, and I hold no grudges. So yeah, for a couple of weeks, didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. I mean, what do you do? I mean, no one's going to. I don't have any qualifications. You know, you don't. There are no sort of college qualifications for classic cars, and it's all plugging stuff in now. And I've worked. It's worked up until now. So yeah. So I realised I could make the business work. So I cleared out the storage unit. Mostly, well, actually, I say I'm clearing out the storage unit, and I basically restarted on a much smaller scale. And a good friend of mine, Peter, he had this black 99 Turbo, which he just saw, and we're gonna get that sorted. So that's a paying job. We've got a Austin 7 engine rebuild I need to do, and all my old customers have been really, really lovely, and they have come back. Spoke to them all individually. So I've got some work on a brown Sierra Copper Pontiac, can't call it brown, to do in January. And a few modern things, you know, like a clutch and a cam belt on a Passat, and I've got to service my sister's MG. So no, we have got a good bit of work in, and the outgoings are no longer £2,000 a month, they are £500 a month. And it's the same work. It's not as good a unit. It's not as big, but as you've seen, you've got a bit of a tour around it. And I think the biggest problem with how I was running it before is I ran before I could walk, which I think is a mistake a lot of people make. So yeah, we're going to make it work. We're going to do a lot more YouTube as well, because I'm actually going to start filming, with the owner's permission, a lot of the things I get in, because it is interesting stuff. You know, it's a big variety. You know, one minute we've got that black Turbo, then we've got the Pontiac. I look after not a couple of stags. I look after a stag for a really good customer of mine, and the Austin 7 rebuild. It's a really lovely variety, and I'm really lucky. So if anything, the complete chaos of this last year has sort of, hopefully, been a good thing. So yeah, well done for staying in the video this long. I have driven a long way out just talking. Where am I? Oh God, what's this guy doing? Oh, if you're going to slow down to 4 miles an hour, then... I just hate the public! No, I don't. You're fine. But other people on the road annoy me. So yeah, no. And future videos, I suppose, in my head, we've got to do are... We've got the extraction of a Saab 99 GLE, which my friend bought. Now straighten up and get out of the way. Bless him, it was an absolute miracle we found that car in such good condition. I didn't actually... Oh, this is a horrible place to pull out of. I didn't actually get much footage from that, so we'll try and make a good video out of that. But no, thank you for listening to all that. and I shall see you in the next video. I don't know which one that will be. I am going to do a little vid on my 900 because that has done a lot of miles this year in the UK. It's been from Scotland to here and back to Scotland again. No, Scotland to here, back to Scotland, then back to here again. And then it's been to Wales, and then it's been to Suffolk and back, and I've used it as a daily. So it's done so many miles and it's been so faultless. It's a lovely thing. I'm going to do a video on this, on the Volvo, because this had an engine rebuild and this has got quite a lot of memories and history to it. I love it to pieces. It's not a good car, really. I mean, the V40, nobody likes it, but there aren't really any left. And it holds a special place for me. And yeah, and that's it. But now I shall leave you with just some clips I've filmed on my phone for a couple of WhatsApp groups, which might be quite fun, of 2022. So no, thank you for bearing with me. If you're still subscribed after a year and a half and still watching, then thank you so much. Thank you for being patient. And yeah, let's get back on track. Bye. But something has gone amiss this morning. That is moving the window when you... I don't know how it works. So, you can't open the door with the window down now. Well done, Dingo. You did good. Oh, I think we're going to need a bit more than duct tape on that one. Oh fuck, I was scared. Oh shit. How's that got so bad so quickly? Just sitting here. Oh, it's just... Oh no, put it back on, put it back on, put it back on.